E20 fuel in India, saving the nation or hurting your wallet. Imagine this. You pull into a petrol pump, fill up your tank, and drive away. But what if I told you that 20% of the fuel in your car is no longer petrol, it's ethanol? The Indian government calls E20 fuel a major step toward energy independence. Critics call it a hidden tax on vehicle owners. Supporters say it will save India billions of dollars in oil imports. Opponents say it reduces mileage and increases costs for ordinary drivers. So, who's right? Is E20 fuel helping India become stronger and greener, or is it quietly hurting your wallet? Today, we're separating facts from fiction. What exactly is E20 fuel? E20 simply means 20% ethanol plus 80% petrol ethanol is a biofuel produced from crops such as sugarcane, maize, and damaged food grains. India has been gradually increasing ethanol blending for years. The country moved from less than 2% blending a decade ago to around 20% today. The goal is simple. India imports most of its crude oil. Every time global oil prices rise, India's import bill explodes. By replacing part of petrol with domestically produced ethanol, India hopes to reduce dependence on foreign oil and improve energy security. But that's only half the story. Why the government loves E20? There are three major reasons. 1. Lower oil imports. India spends massive amounts on crude oil imports every year. Even replacing 20% of petrol with ethanol can save billions in foreign exchange. Less dependence on imported oil means greater energy security. 2. More income for farmers. Ethanol creates a new market for crops such as sugarcane and maize. Instead of relying solely on food markets, farmers can also sell crops for fuel production. This has become a major source of additional rural income. 3. Lower carbon emissions. Ethanol is considered a renewable fuel. Government studies suggest ethanol can significantly reduce life cycle greenhouse gas emissions compared with petrol. For a country aiming for net zero emissions by 2070, that matters. On paper, E20 sounds like a win-win. But then why is the debate getting louder? The big problem: mileage. Here's where things become controversial. Ethanol contains less energy than petrol. That means your vehicle may travel fewer kilometers per liter. Several studies estimate that older vehicles could experience a fuel efficiency drop. For many Indian families, mileage is everything. Let's do a simple example. Suppose your bike currently delivers 50 kilometers per liter. If mileage drops by 5%, it may fall to around 47.5 kilometers per liter. That doesn't sound huge, but over years of daily commuting, the extra fuel consumption adds up. This is why many drivers feel that E20 is costing them money even if the pump price remains similar. And that's not the only concern. What about your vehicle engine? A common question is, will E20 damage my engine? For newer E20 compatible vehicles, manufacturers generally say the fuel is safe. However, concerns remain for older vehicles that were originally designed for lower ethanol blends. Some experts argue that higher ethanol content can affect certain rubber and fuel system components over long periods if the vehicle wasn't designed for it. This debate became so intense that even policymakers recently discussed whether lower ethanol blends should remain available for older vehicles. So while newer vehicles are largely prepared for E20, owners of older vehicles remain worried. The hidden cost nobody talks about there is another issue: water. Producing ethanol requires agricultural feedstock, and crops such as sugarcane consume enormous amounts of water. India already faces water stress in many regions. Critics argue that turning food and water resources into fuel could create long-term sustainability challenges. Supporters respond that India is increasingly using maize, damaged grains, and alternative feedstocks to reduce pressure on sugarcane. This remains one of the biggest unresolved questions in India's biofuel journey. So, is E20 saving the nation or hurting your wallet? E20 is a classic example of a national policy where the country's interests and individual consumers' interests don't always perfectly align. India may save billions, but some drivers may spend a little more on fuel. The real challenge is ensuring that the benefits to the nation do not come at an unfair cost to ordinary citizens. E20 fuel is not just about petrol. It's about energy security. It's about agriculture. It's about climate goals. And it's about the money in your pocket. So what do you think? Is E20 a smart move that will make India stronger? Or should consumers get better protection from the costs? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of India's economy, energy, and future, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.